Hello, everybody.
Hello, welcome to the Heeb and Goy show.
Episode
Sorry.
six.
It's our 6-1, right,
Six.
Dan?
Yeah, six. The
It's
magic
not
number.
bad.
Yeah,
It's not too shabby.
yeah. I can't wait to get to 666. That'll be a good one.
Yes.
Yeah,
By then
that's
we
all.
will have a huge following and endorsements, and
Yeah.
it's totally going to happen because people
Yes.
are clamoring for this.
People are
podcast.
talking. People are talking.
They are.
People are talking.
How are you, Dan? How's Florida right now?
Oh, it's cold. It was 28 this morning.
No, it wasn't.
28
in Florida. Are you fucking really?
Yeah, we had a hard freeze warning. Yeah, 28.
Oh shit. Here in Arizona, it wasn't so bad last night. It was like 49, and yeah, not like most of the country's dealing with. We're okay. We got Florida and Arizona over here.
Yeah, no, this time of year is great. I love it. Wear a pair of shorts and a hoodie, and it's in the 60s normally, like 70s. I wish it was like this all year, honestly, but
for sure.
You like the summer. I hate the summer.
Well, I don't. The summer is bad around here. It gets 115, 120, but I mean, right up before and after that, it's nice. I like it. I like 105. Not gonna lie, it's 105 and dry. I love it.
Yeah, dry is different. I did notice that in the 90s, like here in the 90s, you're miserable.
Miserable with the humidity.
But there in the 90s, it's not bad.
Oh, it's the fucking best. It's the
best. But I don't know, man. Like 105, 106, it's still pretty fucking bad. Like when you feel like you're at a toaster oven.
I like feeling I'm in a toaster oven.
I like the high desert, Sedona. That's my jam. I like it up there.
Right. So what's going on? What are we talking about today here on the Heeb and Goy show? By the way, getting a lot of compliments on the name of the show.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, people are like, is it offensive? Is it not? And then people like the logo. They understand what it's from, right?
So yeah, I mean, I think the logo is amazing, and I think the name is very suitable.
We had, I tell people we had a short list of names, right? And the Heeb and Goy show was the clear winner when we decided to start. Yeah, I mean, we're like, come on, it's the Heeb and Goy show. It's fucking perfect.
I mean, it just sums us up perfectly. And our segments, what's annoying you? I mean, that's
yeah.
Are you kidding? That's like.
So are we doing? Are we? And so we're two old men that like to complain, So what are we starting off this week with, Dan?
So why don't I lead off this week? I have a couple of things we're going to do, but let's start with our normal segments, And
okay.
So what's annoying the Heeb now?
Love it. Can't wait to hear what's annoying you, the Heeb, this week.
So this one combines a couple of things that I absolutely hate. Now, as you know, the wife and I go out to eat quite a bit.
Quite a bit.
Like probably every day for lunch, every day.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And then dinner probably at least 3 to 4 days a week, 3 to 4 nights a week. So we go out to one of our joints, one of our spots. And like you would think for a minute, what's the worst? What's the thing I hate the most? Is like kids, right? Normally
you hate kids the most, yeah.
Generally like unruly young children, but this is right up there. So we sit down, we're in our table, and this is what I got.
So so Dan always takes these pictures of like his world, and he's I'll explain. So you are looking over the booth, and the people that are sitting behind Kara, there's like a blue-haired person and another person.
Yeah, so the blue hair doesn't bother me at all.
No, I was hoping not.
No. And anyone with hair, I'm not going to shit on. I don't care what color it is. So
right, gotcha.
No. That's not the issue.
What's the issue here?
The issue is twofold. Okay.
One of
the issues is immediately apparent, and the other is not. I'll have to tell you about it. The first issue is they are side sitters. Okay.
Oh, side sitters. Well, please explain to what that is to people.
That is when two people, you go to a restaurant, you and one other person, and instead of sitting on opposite sides of the booth like Kara and I are, you are on the same side.
Why? So why does that bother you so much?
I don't know. I just find it so annoying. I don't know. I just find it so annoying. So
it's funny. It is odd, right? Like why would you sit right next to the person and have to like turn to talk to them, turn left or right?
So Yeah, well, number one, right. I mean, it's difficult to talk that way.
It's just weird. It's weird.
It's strange to me. It's almost like we're trying a little too hard to show how close we are, you know?
Oh,
And
you think it's a
I don't
PDA
know.
kind of a situation?
Well, you just hit it. You just hit
Okay.
it.
What else is okay? What's going on?
These two in particular.
Right.
Now, if it was just the side sitting, I would have been annoyed, but I
Right.
wouldn't have put it up on the show. It wouldn't have been a big thing, right?
Wouldn't have made it to the show.
But when you're dealing with what I was dealing with, which was sucking face at the table, just like constantly, like one would, like at one point, the blue hair, which was a guy, got up to go to the bathroom. It actually happened a couple of times where the guy got up or the girl got up to go to the bathroom, and each time they would like smooch before one went to the bathroom. It's like they're never going to see each other again.
Like you're departing for Europe for 5 weeks, and I got to
Europe.
Give you a nice
you're departing for Mars. Like it was just the worst. Like, and this is what it is. this is what it is to me. Yeah. What I see with this is basically, hey, look at me. I'm smooching my gal. You know, you need to pay attention to me right now.
How old was this couple? Give me an age range.
Okay, so older than you would think. So you're looking at, it's a blue hair guy and a woman with red hair, right?
Right.
But they weren't that young. Probably 20s, but not like 22. We're talking.
Okay, 27, 28.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It was, they were just all on top of each other. I mean, just like it was, I was fixated. I could not.
So no, look, Dan, I got to explain to people. This is what happens. He said the word fixated. This is the bane of Dan's partner's existence and my partner's existence. We go out and we start to sort of fixate on something, whether it's a PDA or a badly behaved child or somebody like something. It doesn't matter. There's a wide variety of things that annoy us. And when it annoys us, we will fixate on it. And you can see in this picture here, that's Kara's shoulder. She's probably like leaning down on her phone, just like she's probably annoyed at Dan at this point.
She wanted me to shut the fuck up, and I don't blame her.
Of course, who cares? When people are kissing, Dan, big deal.
My insanity. But no, if it was just the side sitting, it wouldn't have been a huge deal. I would have rolled my eyes at it, but that's
the smooching and the kissing.
It was not like a little smooch here and there. It was we have been on opposite sides of the galaxy for 10 years. And this is the first time we're seeing each other in this Italian restaurant. And we are going to show you just how into each other we are right here. Right. And it was just gross. Like, not only like no one wants to see that, number one. Number two, it's just, it was over the top. It was over the top.
You were just totally annoyed and fixating on it. And at some point, did you make some audible noises in the hopes that they would hear it? Like one of the or maybe like a deep sigh, like, or like even you can bring it up a notch and be like, okay, like.
No, I didn't. I mean, and honestly, man, I don't know that they would have noticed. These people were in their own world,
right?
Like
which annoys you.
Yes, and it was basically, it felt performative. Right. It's one thing if you're really into your, I'm gonna give my wife a little peck on the cheek when I go to the bathroom. Okay, that's sweet, whatever. This felt performative to me.
Right.
Right. It felt performative. And it was
it was annoying.
I mean, let's be honest, someone who's gonna have blue hair, they kind of want attention to begin with. I mean, again,
listen, don't talk bad about people with strange hair, Dan.
You didn't see this guy. Like,
Dan, blue hair is the most hold on. Having colored hair in 2024 is the most common shit around these days. We're not in the 80s anymore.
All right. All right. I mean, look, man, I got an Iron Maiden tattoo. I'm hardly one to I'm not one of these like people who's like, oh, you're kids today. That's not me. But the combination of factors here, and I think even you in this situation, watching these two suck face and it was just, I mean, not only were they side sitting, they were side sitting like almost on each other. You can see, like right there. It's like you're there to eat a meal.
Let me ask you this. Well, I'm sure you're paying attention. What was the conversation like? Did you overhear the conversation?
I did not. See, That would have put me over the edge, I think.
Yeah, over the edge.
If
it was a lot of
that age group, let me tell you, I live in a college town.
Yeah.
And it happens to me almost daily that I'll be out and it'll be a group of people, college kids, and I will hear some of what they're talking about. And I just want to take a fucking pen.
Dan, you got to stop going out.
Stab myself in the ear.
Dan, yeah, I know this about you. So why you keep torturing yourself by going out to fucking eat all the time? Like, I understand you don't want to get the food and go in your car, go to a park or some shit. This is driving you nuts. This is driving you nuts.
I like restaurants though. I like sitting at a table and I like sitting there.
Maybe you can bring like some sort of booth, like walk in with a plexiglass booth and say, look, I'm going to sit here and close it up. I mean, I don't know. So that is pretty. The blue hair wouldn't annoy me at all.
No.
Side sitting
Back up.
I know, I got it.
If they had not been PDA side sitters, I wouldn't have even noticed the blue hair. But
right.
The combination of factors with these two was so egregious, right? It was so bad, Bruce. There was actually an obnoxious kid sitting 10 feet to the left of them. I barely even noticed that kid.
Wow, because that took your focus.
It was constant. It was. And
I'm with you. Okay, I'm with you 100% on the PDA. I don't like it. I don't like too much PDA. I don't like over the top PDA, kissy, smoochy. I mean, yeah, there's a level. I mean, look, I remember being 27. It was a million years ago. I fully remember it. And if I was out with some hot chick and I was like totally like a raging walking like a walking hard on like we all were, of course I'm going to make out with the chick if I'm out, whatever. But like there's a point where it just feels, and we all know when it feels like unnatural to where it just continues on, and like yeah, it's performative. That's the word. I totally agree.
I was fixated. So finally, and I sort of rushed through dinner, and luckily, once their food came, you can't both eat and suck face. It turns out,
right? So they were just shoving food in their mouth.
They're shoving food in, and they are. But again, they're sitting like right on top of each other. It's it's so strange, and it's like, it's
that annoyed you. I could tell.
Yeah, and even the wife who couldn't see because she was sitting with her back to them, she could feel the when
she could hear the spit swallowing,
hear the slurping. Like she even said, "Are they doing it again?" I'm like, "Yep." Like,
wow.
She was like, "Stop."
That's.
I
don't know how they deal with us. I really don't know how Ro and Kara deal with us going out to places. It's got to be a nightmare. It's got to be a nightmare for them.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I did have one other thing happen that
What's that? Tell me.
That more is up it's more kind of up. Oh, why is it that way? Oh, hold on. For some reason.
Dan is trying to put up a picture. Dan does all the photo production work.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to put up.
That's okay. You can just describe it. It's a fucking. You can keep it sideways. People
okay, so you can sort of look at it and see. It's a table for two.
Right.
Where some boomer has put their walker in place of where one of the chairs should go, and then move the chair to the side.
But wait a minute. Okay. Where is said boomer sitting in that booth?
No, they're not sitting there. The place, okay, Bruce, the place was packed, first of all. Right. That was the only available table when we got there. And I'm walking up to the table, and there's no sign of the boomer anywhere. No sign of the boomer, okay?
Just take that fucking walker and move it.
Well, I didn't want to do that because, maybe they have.
Then you get yelled at.
The other problem,
or even worse, it's like a young person that's missing a leg.
Well, no, I was just about to say there's two different. You're talking about there's people legitimately with a problem, and I don't want to shit on them. But then there's the fucking selfish asshole who probably doesn't need it, or maybe they do need it, but not that much. But the bottom line is
not that much.
Well, I mean, dude, go to Walmart. You'll see a 400-pound person in a motorized scooter. They're not in that scooter because they have a problem or they broke a leg. They're in that scooter because they're obese. I mean, that's what I meant, but not a walker. Okay, fair enough. But whoever had that walker, I don't know who it was because they weren't. There was no boomers seated anywhere near it. So somebody stalled.
That's weird.
Somebody stows the fucking thing.
Yeah,
and then thinks nothing of just moving the chair out of the way. Oh yeah, I'll just move the chair out of the way and put my walker here. Nobody needs this table, even though the place was fucking packed, right?
I don't know, dude. I'm moving it. That's me. And if the part of the story I don't like, it's a crowded restaurant and that's the only table left.
Yeah.
So that table, I'm looking at the picture. They moved the chair so they could put the walker there. Now the chair is on the like outside of the table, so it's probably in the walkway area, right? That's bad.
So initially we sat there. So Kara took the chair by the window, and then I.
Oh, you did sit there, and then look, you were in the way.
People, and I'm like they're right in the aisle, right? I'm in people's way, and I felt bad, like I don't want to be in people's way, but that fucking walker's there. So you're better than me. You would have just moved the fucking thing.
I'm moving the walker 100%. Here's what I'm doing. All right. Here's what I'm doing. I walk in there. The part of the story I don't like the most is that's the last table and that walker's there. Like that, that's it for me. So I walk in, I'm there with Ro. I'm like, let's sit here. She's like, oh, there's someone's walker here. I'll tell you exactly what I do. I instantly start looking around and try to figure out who this walker belongs to. Then, see, I'm not afraid of confrontation. And then I'm going to like say, hey, whose walker is this? So of course some old boomer will stand up and be like, that's mine. I'm like, I'm not going to go confrontational right off the bat. I'm going to be like, I'm going to move it so me and my wife can sit down. Okay. And then how he takes it from there, like, well, no, I need it there. I'll be like, too bad. And then I'm moving it and I'm starting a situation, and it's not going to be long before I'm the subject of a fucking viral video. Man is abusive. I'm going to get in trouble. I know I'm going to get in trouble.
Elder abuse.
Oh, yeah. No, this pisses me off a lot. I don't like this. And if it's not a crowded restaurant, look, people will put different sort of mobility aids there. All for it, no problem. But something tells me I'm getting bad vibes on this story. I'm with you on this.
Yeah, it was egregious, and there was, like I said, it was perplexing because there were no old here. Oh, did it again, motherfucker. So I was trying to fix.
You're like, so whose walker is this? Maybe all right. Maybe they put it there. They're in line to get the food, and they're going to come back and sit at this table.
Well, all I know is it was there when we left, Bruce. It was there when we got there, and there when we left. So somebody put it there and was camped out at this place, and I don't know where they were because I did not see anyone.
And it's crowded. There's other booths and people are around. I'm asking.
You make a good point, though. It might have been somebody younger, but.
I'm looking at that kind of a walker that's got the seat on it, and the little like the bike brakes for the hand. That screams boomer. And look, you can't say, hey, people with mobility aids, a person that's old might need it.
Fine. You need a walker. That's fine. Bring it to your fucking table and put the walker in the aisle at your table,
right?
Rather than putting a chair in the aisle at this other table. Like the whole thing made me insane. So we end up. Gotta
stop going out. People are listening to this and going like, dude, why does this guy go out? Everywhere he goes, he's pissed off.
No. So we
this is ridiculous.
We start sitting there, and then a lady leaves from another table. So we took her table, which was just catty corner to there. And I am fixated on this table. Fixated.
Did you then just keep your
waiting
eye on the water, like,
waiting for someone to come back, and no one ever did. We ended up leaving, and no one ever did. Another couple came to sit down, and they're like, "Whose walker is this?" And I'm like, "I don't know." Like the fact that some asshole would stow their shit there, move the chair, leave, and it'd be camp out somewhere else in a crowded place.
No, that's crazy. Cause I mean, if you need a walker, like you said, you sit someplace and if you need the walker, you need it right fucking next to you, right? So have it right next to you. So have it like that. So then, like, I don't know. I'm gonna get there and be like, does this walker belong to anyone? Is this your walker? Oh, it is. I'm gonna move over here by you.
I'm not gonna do that. I don't like. I'd be the guy who would move it out of the way just so I can get the chair in and get screamed at. That would be me. Why are you messing with my walker?
No, I mean, which is why I would handle it. Look, I'm making it sound like I'd be a dick about it, but actually in real life, I'd be like, whose walker is this?
Okay,
anyone's walker?
All right. I'll show you how this would go.
How it go? You be the guy. All right, you're the guy that owns the walker. I'm the
walker guy. I'm seated 30 feet
away.
Yeah,
now you say it. So I walk in there. I go
slurping my.
Hey, Ro, I want to sit here. Ro, hey, whose walker is this? Is this anyone's walker?
They wouldn't hear you. I'm saying this.
Hey, is anyone's walker? Whose walker is this? Go ahead, Dan. You're the person.
Then you go to move it.
No, Dan. I want you to pretend you're the walker guy. We're doing an acting.
In this scenario, I'm telling you that wouldn't happen. What would happen is they would not say a word, and then you go to move it, and then they would yell at you.
I wanted you to play along and be the walker.
I'm going to play along, but you're going to
comedy's sake.
Nobody answers. Nobody answers.
Be the one. Pretend you're the guy that answers. Whose walker is this?
Mine.
Oh, hi there. How are you, sir?
Okay.
Okay, listen, me and my wife want to sit here, and you got your walker here, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, can I move it so me and my wife can sit here at this table?
No.
Sir, why not?
It's by the door. I need it by the door so I can get to my CRV.
Sir, can I just move it to sit right by your table here so me and my wife can sit down?
No, sit at the chair I left there.
No, because then that's in the way. I'm tell you what, I'm gonna go ahead and move your walk. You're right. It would go bad. It would go bad.
First of all, they wouldn't answer when you ask whose it is. They would just get pissed when you move it. That's what would happen.
Really? I don't know.
Yes. What are you doing with my walker? I need it there. My CRV's on the other side. No. Anyway. So that was the other night. Side sitter PDA. If you're these people, if you're the person who goes and is a side sitter, first of all, why? And then second, I don't need to see you fucking sucking face with your better half. All right. Hold hands. Okay. That's fine. That doesn't bother me. That's fine. You know, but like, why? Anyway, that was my thing.
That's what annoys you this week.
Yeah. So we're gonna move on to the goy, and I have a little
what's annoying
visual aid for you.
Okay. So what is it? What is the topic that I said? You're getting older, basically?
Yeah, easier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The topic of what's annoying the goy this week, it's different than Dan's. Dan's was like a situational thing that happened. Mine's like a general sort of like, okay, that's later. That's a different story. This is what we're doing right here.
Okay.
I'm getting older. Father time. That's what's annoying me this week. Dan, I'm 55. Now, deep inside, I think I'm this 27-year-old, that's how I feel inside, like how I was when I was 27, being a drummer in a band and just being like thin. And like, by the way, railing down cigarettes and being able to run upstairs like it's nothing, like the physical body is good shape, riding my bicycle around everywhere, huffing down bong hits 18 times a day, no problem, right? And so now that I'm 55, I'm noticing typical 55-year-old man things that are happening. And I'm going to be very honest to the radio audience and to you, radio podcast audience, and to you about what's going on. And when you hit 55, it's things like, okay, so I'm in the gym, it's meniscus. I got a torn meniscus. My knees are all fucked up. And so I'm hobbling around, right? Not only that, then I'm fucking gaining weight. I'm starting to gain weight. My belly's sticking out. Like, what is this? And like, I've always been stick thin my whole life, right? Not the case anymore. There's like these little folds that happen on the side. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah. I've actually got a tattoo like on the side where my rib caves used to be. And now that tattoo is like stretched out and fat and it folds underneath where the belt is. And Dan, it's horrifying. And then so like I'm out doing stuff. Okay, here's another thing that happened. I made a friend on Facebook and I was like, she's an artist, right? And I wanted to talk to her about art and stuff like this. She's like sort of a young, attractive lady. Nothing nefarious was going on, but she's a young, attractive lady who's an artist. And I wanted to like talk to her about this art that she made. And it was one of those things where you meet up, like a Facebook friend meet up. Hey, I'll meet you so-and-so. So I meet up with this girl and she's like 27 and she took a look at me and she had a look of horror over her face, and then I'm like, what's the problem? And then I was talking to her a little bit and she just like could not wait to get away from me, like repelled by me, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And then I was like, I thought about it, I'm like, but then later on that same day, this is true, then later on, like someone else came to talk to her, was like a young, good looking, like 27-year-old guy, and she was super chatty, super loved to talk to this guy. And I realized, then I walked by and I saw my reflection like in a mirror.
But wait a minute, you met her on Facebook. She knows you're older.
I know, but it was something like the real life horror of
reality.
This.
When the reality,
yeah, the reality of like this gross 55-year-old man, is like, and she like took a look, and I'm not used to that because I'm used to being this confident. When I was 27, very confident young man. Not that I was like super good looking or anything, but I've always been like a confident guy. You know what I mean? I was like not the nightmare that you see before you now. So I'm walking and I take a look at the mirror. I'm like, oh my God, Bruce, look at you. Look at you. You got this fat jowl line, right? You got the fucking receding hairline here like this. You got it's gray in the beard. You got these wrinkles, these bags under the eyes, the whole thing. You're hunched over. You're fat. You got the creases on the side. and it's just like, oh my God, like what happened? And it's a nightmare. And so like, that's only just the physical vanity part of it. But then there's also the medical things that are going on. Like I was talking about earlier, it's like fucking old man type stuff. Oh, my knee hurts. And then if you sleep wrong, it's like I got a crick in my neck because I slept wrong, And then there's other typical old man stuff like, oh, what is this? Do I got hemorrhoids? That hurts. What's going on? And then it's like all these like typical like sort of old man things are happening. And then it's like waking up to pee all the time, right?
Yeah,
like Dan's only 50. He doesn't know, but like now it's like 55. It's like every fucking 3 hours I'm waking up to pee. And it's just like, okay, these are now, and the doctor will tell you like, okay, this is fine. This is just natural part of growing older. Anyone will tell you this, whatever. But I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm really fucking grappling with it. It's really annoying me. It's like, I'm like, dude, this fucking sucks. This really sucks. And the incident with the cafe where the girl was just horrified by me, like that hit me. That I was like, oh, dude, she's repelled.
I deal with that almost daily because I'm out and about, as doing my daily shit, and there's college girls everywhere. Like
there are not college girls around here.
Well, these are girls between the ages of 18 and 22, and they're young and they're out and about, and usually they have one of two reactions to me walking near them. Like say we're waiting for coffee or something.
So Dan, you're not nearly as grotesque looking as I am, though.
No, I beg to differ. So
okay, go ahead.
One of two reactions that I've noticed, and look, we're going to have a guest on the show at some point. Young, good-looking college girls. A friend of mine's kid. I'm going to bring her and her friend on because I'm fascinated by their perspective on people our age, right?
Yeah.
So there's one of two things basically only two. There's only two possibilities. Possibility number one, you're invisible. You're basically, oh look, someone my dad's age. Whatever.
Gross.
Not even that. Not even gross. Just
like I don't see him.
Invisible.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not good. Just not even something not
invisible. Yeah.
Okay. It's almost like in your life, if Taylor Swift comes out with a new album, you would never know.
I would never know. It's not on my radar. I don't hate it. Don't love it. Just whatever.
Right. So that's number one.
That's number one.
That's one possibility. It's one of the reasons that if I want to send you a picture, like look how dumb this person looks or whatever, like the ones who you're invisible, they don't even notice you. Like you might.
Yeah.
The second possibility is what you just dealt with, which is visible.
Yeah.
Revulsion. Right.
Yeah.
And honestly, at this age. Okay, all right, sweetie.
So you're different than me. The revolt bothers me, dude.
Doesn't bother me.
Dude, this chick was revolted. Like I was like, hey, what's going on? I'm Bruce from Facebook, and I just got like the up and down, and just like the look on her face was like, oh, gross. Look at this guy.
For me,
I was like, oh, it hurt.
Oh my God,
bro, it hurt my heart. Like
you would not register. There's a scene. I'm gonna go with deep. This is a deep cut. There's a movie, Under Siege 2. Pretty good movie, right?
Steven Seagal.
Steven Seagal.
Oh, come on.
Listen. So in this movie, there's a bad guy, right? And he is trying to find Steven Seagal's daughter on this train. And he walks up to the daughter. He thinks it's her, and she pulls out pepper spray and sprays him in the face. And it doesn't even faze him. And she's like, whoa. So he then takes the pepper spray from her and sprays it in his mouth. He goes, after a while, you don't even notice it. And that's how I am with that.
That's how you are.
It doesn't slow me down. It's like, okay, honey.
So, that means
sounds good. Okay.
That means that you get that revulsion look
a
lot more than me. Yeah. I mean, and I don't know, like I probably get it a lot more. Like maybe I live in my own head or whatever, but it was like, that's what's annoying me this week, because it's like I just realized that it's a bigger thing. It's
let me help you out.
What's that?
I'm going to give you two things that are going to help you out, because
all right, young man,
it happens to me a lot, and that's part of it. But there's two things that I know that they don't know.
What's that?
That basically win where I win. Number one, sweetie, why don't you line up 100 guys who are my age, 50 years old, and tell me how gross I am?
Right.
Have you seen most 50-year-old men?
Yeah, that's true.
Have you seen them? Have you taken a good look at them? 50-year-old
Right.
men, or in your case, 55-year-old men. Listen, Bruce,
Ooh.
if you're going to age adjust, like you and I, like by ourselves, we're both strong 5s, right? But if you're going to adjust for age, if you're going to adjust for age and like say, look, we're only going to consider you versus other people your own age, you and I are easily 7.5.
7.5. So I like, let me review. Dan says that me and Dan are both strong 5s. That okay, I could live with that. I was kind of thinking, who knows? Because when you rate yourself, I'm a fucking 3 or whatever. But you're right. Like I go out to events and stuff that like some older people, whatever. And I know that I'm 55, and plus I've been going back to the gym a lot now too, right? So I've been going to the gym every day this week, and the gym is filled with people my age, and people that are like I see some dudes in there that are 45 that are in good fucking shape. Like they look old in the face and stuff, but they go to the gym a lot.
Those are
good.
outliers. Those are outliers, man.
Those guys are doing good, but I will say this.
Don't go to the gym, Bruce. Go to Walmart. Tell me how good the
No. Okay. Okay. So that's annoying the goy this week, but I also want to like tie in something else. Yes, getting older is a nightmare and it's a horror. And looking in the mirror is a horror. And seeing what it's like to just live in your head and be like, I know what I feel like inside, but this is going on outside, and the medical problems that are going on. And it's not horrible. I have all limbs. I'm lucky, right? I got my vision, my hearing. Like I'm super grateful to have what I have, right? There's people out there that are dealing with a lot more cancer, fucking all kinds of horrible shit, right? So I get it. So I get little paper cuts here and there and whatever. Okay, big deal, whatever. But it's still, that's just part of getting older. There's a part, and you might disagree with this. I don't know. I didn't even know if I'd bring this up, but I'm gonna bring it up. So there's a couple things about getting older that are actually good, right? There's a couple things about getting older a little bit good. One of which is sort of like, remember when you're like 25, 27, the peaks and valleys of life, you get there's a lot of high joy, but then you get depressed because a girl breaks up with you or some shit. And you go like down to some real deep down. So like everything is very high and low. There's high highs, lows when you're young. Right. And when you get a bit older like this, it sort of evens out. Like, yes, things aren't as euphoric as they used to be. But at the same time, I don't go down into valleys of depression like I used to, because I was so emotionally tied up over like chicks or relationships or things like nothing. Like things don't faze me.
So much shit in our lives that you get to a point where not only do you have better perspective on it, but you've dealt with it before.
Yeah. It's like, right? This is happening. No big deal. This has happened before. Okay, so that's nice. I do like how things have kind of evened out, whatever. I don't go into these depths of despair and depression like I used to. Another thing, though, now this is funny. I'm going to bring this up. I'm not a walking erection anymore. Now, what I mean by that is that when you get a little bit older, your T levels go down, right? You see all these commercials on TV for low T. And it usually shows a guy that's like, his wife is like, hey, have sex with me, And he's just like, not interested, whatever. And you got to go get a pill for low T. I'm not talking about that. That's a medical thing that I would 100% get something done if that was the case. I'm talking about, okay, when you're like 22, 25, your fucking horniness level is at a nonstop. All you think about all fucking day is poontang. All day, right? And then so now it's come down to a little bit, and I'm telling you this is a good thing. It's gone down a little bit to where now it doesn't fucking rule my life anymore. I can get other things done. Yes, I'm horny still a lot. Yes, I think about it all the time and I want it all the time. But it's not like all the time.
I have a term for that. It's called lizard brain. It's like,
now, what does that mean?
It basically means the sort of the part of your brain that is primal and kind of built in, where you can't help but look at a girl if she's 23 with a great body, right? You can't help yourself. Even if you didn't want to.
I still have that. I
know, but it's not it doesn't have as much control over the rest of your brain, right? That's my point.
Like there'll be that initial thing like, oh my God, look at that ass. You know what I mean? Like you'd be in a store or whatever. But now I see that, I register it, and that's where it ends, right? Because back in the day, it would be like, oh my God, look at that ass. And I would just like follow it out to the fucking parking lot, see if I could talk to her, whatever, regardless of marital status.
No, you definitely have way more control over, like, what you're saying is absolutely true. It's the one good thing about getting old.
And look, we're both total horn dogs still. I get it, but I mean, it's absolutely gone down a little bit, and it's a gift. I was thinking about it the other day. I'm like, oh my God, like I'm not totally like consumed with getting laid anymore. Like absolutely consumed with it.
Nothing good comes from letting that part of your brain dictate your actions, right? Nothing good comes from that. Like in my case, I've been married 20 years, right?
Same here. Yeah. Tomorrow,
right? Let's just say tomorrow. No. I'm saying let's say tomorrow I'm out and about and some 22-year-old, blonde girl with the perfect body, whatever, is like, I really like you. I'm into old guys. Here's my number, whatever, right?
Right.
Would never happen, obviously.
Right.
But
this is the thing. Okay.
But this is the thing. This is the superpower when you get older is if you were 30, you would take her number and that'd be right. That's the end of it, right?
Yeah.
But
and you would just like any kind of like, regardless of your relationship, responsibilities.
Me, I see 3 steps ahead. 3 steps ahead is this girl's crazy. It's fun for 12 hours and then I regret it. And then the wife finds out. I go through divorce. My life is shit. I have to give away half my shit, right?
Yeah.
I've nuked my life.
Your life.
From orbit, right?
Yeah.
For what? And for what?
Well, but for me, I mean, I get that part, but for me, it's like, you say that same situation happens to me, young, hot girl, whatever. And hey, oh my God, I like old, gross guys. Here's my number. Where I'm like, okay, right. That's great. And I'd be like, I would look at it and I would, of course you're thinking about like, oh, I don't want to, have infidelity and cheat on my wife. And what are the chances get divorced?
She's not crazy, Bruce? What are the chances?
But that's where it stops right there. I'm going to look at that and not even get to those other scenarios. I'm just going to be like, this is not real. Like this is
very no. Let's say it is real. It's very nice of you. I appreciate it very much. You're a very nice girl. I wish you good luck in life. But
yeah, exactly. I mean, like that's what you made, honey. You made my day by saying that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? And then by the way, we both know this is true. Probably go home and fap. I mean, really. I mean, just go home. Like just having that like little like experience would do a world for me. I would be like, oh my God, of course I would not mention it to anybody.
This is like the one good thing of getting older. It really is. The one, like, this happens to me at work all the time. I deal with people in their 20s and 30s who lose their minds over dumb little shit. And I'm like, when you're 50, you're not going to give fucks about any of this.
I really don't care. Like, I don't care about like little things like, oh my God, this happened or that happened. I'm like, water off a duck's back, they used to say, whatever. So yeah, that's annoying. The goy this week is just sort of getting older and having your body break down and things like this. But really, everything's fine. I know this, I just like to complain. Are we segmenting into another thing that I have to talk about?
No, you wanted to talk about this. You told me.
Okay, it's another. Okay, it's not what's annoying the goy this week. This is just a topic that I want to talk about.
Right.
All right.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well.
So, all right. Thank you. Okay. Another thing I wanted to talk about was, and this might be kind of gross, but like I'm passionate about this. Like, I can't leave the house in the morning to do things until I poop. Now, let me get down to this. I mean, I know everyone has different things about this, but like I start my day and I drink coffee and I'm one of these lucky guys who I know that the coffee is going to trigger the poop 100%. It works every time. But sometimes you got to sit there and drink 2 cups. So, but I don't like leaving the house until I've had that home base doot. Thank you. And I won't leave the house. And like Rose said the other day, I need to go out and do something. And she's like, isn't it getting late in the day? Don't you have to do this? I'm like, yeah, but I haven't pooped yet. And she's like, so you're just not going to do that thing. And I was like, that's right. I'm not going to do that thing because I'm not going to go out. And she's like, you're crazy. And I'm like, I know I'm crazy because I've got a thing to where like, I can't, by the way, Dan is just like feeding these photos. I can't leave the house if I can't take a away from home field poop. I've tried to do this. One of these times I had to drive out to California and I was unable to take that morning poop. And I tried, dude. I drank like 3 cups of coffee. I couldn't go. I'm like, well, guess we're just going to throw caution to the wind and just go out to the house and the poop's going to happen out there in the wild somewhere. Now, I'm crazy. Like, I know this. Like, most people are like, dude, you could just go to the bathroom in a gas station, whatever. I'm like, no, I can't. Because you go to the gas station, like, say I'm driving And now I'm in my head. I'm like, oh my God, I got to poop. I got to poop, right? So I go to the gas station. There's the rest area. I go in there and I sit down, and now I know it's like it's on. Now you got to poop. It's like the pressure, right? Crowded gas. Now I can't poop. And it's the weirdest medical thing, because even though I got this big turd ready to come out, the fucking sphincter's like, whoop, nope, not happening. Not happening. So then I wind up just fucking holding it all day until I get to like the motel or whatever. And that's when like it's like, oh my God, fucking like a can of tennis balls comes out. So I can't fucking leave the house until I poop. And I wonder, is that just me? Is anyone else like that? What happens to you? How crazy is that, Dan? Scale of 1 to 10.
Okay. I would say it's a 5. And the reason I say that is that I really do not want to go outside my house. I really do not.
No.
I have a setup at home. I will if I absolutely have to, right?
Right.
I will if I absolutely like I gotta, like, or I'm not comfortable.
Right.
But I won't not leave the house. And the reason for that is that I'm sort of, at this point, I sort of know when I have to go, kind of thing. Like I got 2 times a day where I normally go and whatever. Now I have a relative. I'm not going to name names. I have a relative.
Okay.
I give this person shit all the time. No pun intended. They will poop anywhere.
Oh yeah.
Anywhere.
That is superpower.
Anywhere.
I don't see how people do that.
Give a shit. No pun intended.
That horrifies me. How do you do that?
Anywhere. If they gotta
go. Why do you do that?
And I don't mean they gotta go like, or they're gonna shit their pants. I mean even the smallest need to go.
Kind of like a recreational poop. I might as well go. You know.
I'm with you. I'm like it's one thing if I'm out, I'm at Lowe's or something, and
oh my God,
and I gotta have diarrhea. That's different.
Oh my God.
I can't wait. I'll just go. Right. I don't want to go with those, but I will if it's a need. Now, if it's just I know I got to poop and it's not an emergency, I'll wait till I get home. I'll hold it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
First, this family member of mine, not named in case he watches, but
right.
I mean, Bruce, anywhere.
I had a buddy like that too. He was in the
No, I haven't told you the best part.
Okay, go ahead.
He likes to run. He's a runner.
Oh,
right. He's a runner, which is great. I wish I was a runner.
Right.
He started doing these longer runs, and one day.
Oh no, I know where this is going.
He started doing these longer runs, and one day.
Oh no.
He goes, "You're not gonna believe what happened to me." I'm like, "What do you mean?" I'm out for my run. I'm like, "Okay." I had to go. I'm like, "Oh, you didn't go in your pants, did you?" No, they didn't. He didn't go in his pants. He went in the woods in a subdivision here.
Right. Hold on. He's running through. Was it an organized run or just him by himself running?
No, just him. Like he's
okay.
He's
like, I'm going to go out.
He gets up early in the morning.
Yeah.
He's a very disciplined person, and he like and I'm like, dude. I'm like, why didn't you just go before you left the house? Well, I didn't know I had to. Like, and the thing is, it's like he just doesn't care.
No, I would be consumed. Like if I had to go out all day and do something like that, I'd be like, okay, I'm.
You're gonna clear the pipes. You're gonna clear.
By the way, like you said earlier, it's like I'm pretty well regimented. What's the word? Regimented too on that. Like
yeah.
Like I know in the morning I've got myself figured
I have
out.
To say, if I were, I'm not that I would ever be a runner, but if I had a habit like that, like something I'm doing outside it takes like 2 hours to do a run or an hour.
Right.
And I didn't know I had to go, and then I had to go. I don't know what I would do. I'll be honest. I don't know what I would do.
Oh God,
I probably would do the same thing,
dude.
What are your options? What are even your options at that?
Just thinking about it makes me so nervous and agitated because what would I do? Like I can't even wrap my head around.
I mean, your 2 options at that point. Your 2.
He's like in a nice neighborhood, and he runs into some subdivision where there's a little bit of woods.
He doesn't care. This isn't even like a problem.
Oh my God. It would consume me, dude.
For you and me, it's like, okay, so my 2 options are shit my pants or go in the woods. I would go in the woods too.
Oh my God. I think I might like call an Uber, pick me up, bring me to the nearest, like, I don't know what I would do. And like, listen, I've done this before too. Like I've been on like hiking before, like you go on a long hike and it's like, uh-oh, I have to go. And yes, you do have to drop trowel and just dig a cat hole and just do it right there. And it's disgusting and horrible.
I have never shat outside. I will tell you that.
You've never done it?
Not
okay,
once.
Dan, look, I'm going to go to the opposite side of the spectrum. It is very funny and liberating at the same time. Like we used to listen to Stern and Chris Christie would talk about doing it, or also what's like Kenneth Keith would do it. Like it's funny. And if you ever find yourself taking a dump outside in the woods, it's equal parts horrifying, and you will laugh to yourself so far. Like I can't believe I'm doing this.
I pee outside every single day.
Yeah, me too. I love peeing outside.
Pooping outside, that's where I draw. I gotta have
my
bidet. I have a bidet, Bruce. I have a bidet.
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I would never be without my bidet in my personal life.
Right.
Very important. And I got my routine, man. I'm not.
So that's another thing about getting to be like this age. Like it's routine, and I'm very regimented. Like I will have my coffee in the morning, and I will poop. 99.9% of the time, it works. I'm out the door. It's great, no problem. But like there was that one time where I had things to do that day. The poop wasn't happening, and I absolutely made the decision. I'm like, guess I'm not going out. Guess I'm not going out. And like it was like, you know what? It was like a Lowe's thing.
Wow, see,
I had to go to like Lowe's.
Right, I lied. I gave you a 5 on the crazy scale. I'm gonna give you like a 7.5.
Yeah, I mean easily. I was like,
leave the house.
I'm not
on
going.
The off chance that you might have to poop in the next few hours.
Well, because the more coffee I drank, and the more that I thought about it, and plus the more in my head, it started like, oh my god, this is gonna happen. This is gonna happen. This is gonna happen.
Right.
And then you leave the house to go to Home Depot or Lowe's. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna. And plus, then when you go into the men's room, you ever go to the stalls, right? And the door doesn't really shut all the way. There's like that gap. Probably when the door shuts, the gap is like this big, and you could like look. You're sitting down on the toilet, and you're looking out this gap, and you could see people kind of like they catch eye contact with you through that gap. My sphincter's like this, done. There's nothing in the world that I could poop when I know someone's like.
Let me ask
door.
you this though. Let me ask you this.
What's that?
One for me. There's one exception. Only one exception
to
this rule about not really wanting to go outside the house and me having. I'm like you. I wouldn't say I have a hard time going, but I really avoid it. Right?
Yeah.
There's one exception.
What's that?
The airport, and I'll tell you why. If you're at the airport, number one.
Funny.
Number one, these are people you are never going to see again.
Right.
One. Number two, most people you have your headphones in a lot of the time. You're listening to a podcast, you're listening to music, right?
Yeah.
So when I go to the airport, if I have to take a shit, it doesn't bother me at all. Like it's and really, you know me, and I'll add one little flavor to this. I have a membership to the Delta Club, and the Delta Club, when you go, it's like a lounge. When you go to the bathroom, one of these,
Dan pays a lot of money to go in this high upper echelon.
When you go to the lounge, they have bathrooms with floor to ceiling doors.
Okay,
so you're in an enclosed, completely in a space where you can't see nothing.
That's really funny that you brought that up because, and I was going to agree with you, but then you told me that you're in the upper echelon bathroom.
No, even if it's not, even if it's a regular airport bathroom, I will still go. Now, look, I got to have the headphones in. With the headphones in, I can't hear anything around me. I can hear nothing around me.
Right.
The thing is, it's not just me. If you just walk into an airport bathroom and just stand there and just listen, it is like Hiroshima.
Okay.
Like,
let me talk on this.
Are bombing the shit out of that place.
Yeah. I'm going to agree with you. And you bring up a very interesting point because the airport, a lot of people might not know this, especially women, but the airport men's bathroom is such sheer chaos and such just it's so horrifying. Yes. There are noises. And by the way, I don't know why, but there's always like lots of water on the floor. It's like a combination of water and pee on the floor, the whole thing. Right. And it's disgusting. And everyone's in there grunting and growling. There's lots of poo noises going on. It's such chaos that, yes, I will be able to poop in there. And the reason is, oddly enough, it's because there's so many other noises and poop noises and grunting and growling going on that it's just such chaos that I'm one of them. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense.
Chaos is the best way to put it, and that is correct. It is a cacophony of shit, no pun intended. And like, that's right. Now, look, the lounge, if we ever travel together, I'll take you to the lounge. And let me tell you, you go into that shitter, and like it's like a hermetically sealed room. Like each
So no, I like that. I don't like it though. If someone rattles, can someone rattle? Okay, you're in there and someone wants to get in. Do they rattle the doorknob? Like you're in there,
because if you lock it, it says occupied on the outside.
Oh, that's perfect. See, the rattling of the doorknob is what gets it for me. I swear to God. Okay, so say the door shuts. I know we're spending a lot of time on this, but say the door shuts. I'm in a good restaurant where the door really shuts and it's all good. I'm in there. Then I can actually work on pooping. Say I'm pooping, bro, and it starts to come out. It's like, okay, here we go. By the way, this is my ass and this is the poop coming out, right? And it's like, oh my God. And I'm sitting in there and all of a sudden the door rattles. Like I hear footsteps come up and the door rattles.
Yeah,
my sphincter's like, boop, and I'm done. And then I get up.
But see, headphones again would cure that. You wouldn't even know. But I'm with you. I avoid it, and I rarely poop outside the house. I'm not saying it never happens, but it's very rare. But like one day, you and I got to travel together, and we'll go to the Delta Lounge, and we'll drop the deuce.
I don't know. Anyway, right, I'm sure the audience has really enjoyed my poop talk.
Moving on from the poop talk, there's a story that happened here that caught my eye that I thought was just really, really good. Okay.
What do we got here? You got a story. And by the way, can I tell the audience, second week in a row, he finds these stories that happen in his hometown. They're always, Dan lives in Florida.
Well, no. The only reason I even know is that I'm on an email list for mainly so I see like what's going on locally, like weather or whatever.
But this is the second story out of Gainesville.
Yes.
By the way, completely unhinged, crazy stories, but go ahead.
Yes. So this is a woman charged with stalking after alleged swatting, which I guess means getting the SWAT team or whatever.
Yeah, I know what swatting is for sure.
So, she calls you can look at this woman, and she's not attractive, and she looks mean and crazy. Like you can sort of tell from the picture.
Not attractive. So Dan, by the way, audience, Dan said that. Not attractive, mean, and crazy.
That's what she looks like in the picture. I mean, maybe it's a bad picture. So,
but
it gets better. Her name is Rachel.
Okay,
already
Rachel.
We got her. Already she's fitting the stereotype.
Okay.
And it's Rachael.
White lady. Crazy white lady.
But the extra A, it should be Rachel. That extra A is like, oh boy.
Okay.
Rachel
and 32.
32. Rachel Jamie Austin was arrested and charged with stalking after making multiple false reports of crimes at her ex-boyfriend's apartment.
Okay.
The victim, who was the guy she dated, that's her ex, who previously dated her for 2 weeks.
Hold on.
2 weeks.
Austin is the dude.
Is her last name. Austin is her last name.
Okay. They don't name the boyfriend, the victim?
I don't see him named, no. The victim, well, let's call him Bob.
Victim.
Bob, the victim, dated her for 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
He told a sheriff's detective that the first incident was on December 16th, about a month ago. He found a handwritten note on his window that included an arrest report for her, signed by her. She had been arrested in Connecticut in June of last year, charged with second-degree making a false incident report, disorderly conduct.
So hold on. So just so I understand this clearly, she puts the arrest report of her arrest report from a previous incident
from another state last summer.
Put it on his windowsill to say what? Look how crazy I am.
Note. He said he received a pizza. Okay, this is all right. A week later, she leaves this note on his door saying, basically saying, look, I'm crazy.
Oh, that's okay. That's what I'm getting at.
A week later, receives a pizza that hadn't been paid for in the name of Hitler lover.
Okay, nice. Right.
The detective reported there was no evidence that the woman sent the pizza, but the time frame indicated there was a reasonable belief that she
reasonable. Yeah, the crazy lady puts her arrest report on the windowsill, and then you get a pizza for a Hitler lover. I'm putting those two together. You know what I mean?
A week later, his car gets egged. Okay. Egged.
Okay.
The day after that, which is New Year's Eve, an unknown man shows up at his apartment in the middle of the night, said he had matched with her on Tinder, and she told him to meet her at the apartment.
What? I don't understand this.
So she matched with a guy on Tinder, and she says, oh, good, dude, let's meet up. And she gives him the address of her ex, the guy she dated for 2 weeks.
So this dude shows up thinking he's going to meet this chick.
Dude shows up saying, hey, where's Rachel with an A? Right? Oh. And he goes, she doesn't live here. And then another guy showed up the next day. and
she's
said
sending dudes over to
dudes over thinking that she lives there.
Oh, what the fuck? This is crazy.
Then after midnight on January 17th, just a few days ago, local sheriff received a call from a Pennsylvania phone number reporting that the caller could hear a man and woman yelling in an apartment next door. Caller gave the victim's apartment number, so the guy's apartment number, giving his name as the aggressor, saying the man was threatening to beat the woman. The caller said the man had guns. When the deputies arrived, they found him alone in the apartment.
No gun, just chilling.
Nothing. This was made up. Right. Yeah. A few hours later, they received another call from the same number.
What?
Saying that the caller said to a woman she woke up in the dude's apartment and unable to leave. Like basically saying that this guy had taken her hostage.
Wow.
They go to his apartment, found him asleep and alone again.
So wait, both in the same night, hours apart, swatted?
4 hours later. 20 minutes after that,
no.
Santa Fe College, which is a local community college, police department receives a call from the same number. Caller saying, provide the name of the victim. In this case, said he had raped her. When an officer called the number that was left as a callback, the woman who answered said her name was Rachel Austin. Reportedly said she didn't know why police were calling her. So it sounds like there's like multiple people involved in this.
Yeah,
not just the crazy lady.
No. I don't think so. I think it's all from the crazy lady.
Well, it says they received a call from a Pennsylvania number, gives the name of the guy, Bob, the ex-boyfriend, in the case, and said he had raped her. Hi, I'm calling.
So she asked one of her crazy friends.
Here's my callback number. When they do the callback number, it's the same girl. Rachel said she didn't know why police were calling her. So she's fucking nuts.
The fuck? She's routing phone numbers around.
Crazy. So then they call the Pennsylvania number. The person who responded says he was in Tampa and that no one called the police department. I don't know what you're talking about. And then it's a different guy who said that this woman had stalled and harassed him in the past. So she's now got this circle of dudes that she's stalked and is using their numbers. Like, oh my God. She's been charged with stalking, which is a misdemeanor, and then bail of $250,000. This woman's nuts. Like this is way beyond crazy. This is in 2 weeks you're dating her. And like, I just want to ask the guy, like, dude, like, really? Like, was it worth it?
Okay, here's the thing, though. Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
You told me the whole story. I followed along with you the whole story. Here's what my brain's thinking of. Who's this dude? And what does he look like? Okay. We're looking at this guy. Maybe this guy is fucking 70 years old and is so hideously misshapen, like he looks like Jabba the Hutt. But I mean, regardless of what people look like, yes, this chick is fucking crazy. Like, you don't swat people.
Yeah.
And the best part of the story is the pizza with the Hitler lover. Like, that's amazing. Like, by the way, say I'm ordering a pizza and I work at the pizza place. How this even went through is beyond me. I'm working at a pizza.
How do you get
Hello, I want a pizza.
I'm not going to pay for it, right?
Yeah, but I'm not going to pay for it. What's the name of the guy that's going to pay for it? Just write Hitler lover.
Hitler lover.
And the guy that works at the pizza restaurant has to type it in, write it on the box, Hitler lover. Why, of course, at that point, is it just done? Hitler lover? I don't think so. Bye. Boom. Pizza place is like, okay, well, it is a $30 pizza.
I'm just fixated on the fact that all of these steps she's taking. Like, first, she's finding guys on Tinder and sending them to his address. Then she's got some other guy she had stalked in the past and uses his phone number to call and report.
She's got some sort of like tech ability to be able to like route phone numbers around. I mean, I don't know how to do that.
Like, and this ties into what we were talking about earlier, right? The 25-year-old who says, "Hey Bruce, I really love old guys. I want to date you." That is who this is. Like,
right.
Like, and I'm just saying that would be who.
So here's what you're thinking. So we're looking at the picture of this woman who's 32, and granted, the camera doesn't love her too much, whatever. But say we're looking at the same picture, same story, but instead of this picture is a 32-year-old that's like fucking hot, right?
Yeah. Right.
And so Dan's looking at this, and then we can suddenly, the story has a different tone, because then we all feel like that could easily happen to me. fucking easily happen to me because she
well,
looked
yeah,
like
no,
that.
you're right. You're right about that. If this girl was super hot, I'd be like, yeah, I get it. She's
I got
crazy. She's
spotted.
crazy, but I see why you got sucked in. Like
Hitler lover pizza. Okay, you know,
Hitler,
just
Hitler
like just like swatted. Okay, I mean, it was a good time, so I don't know what to tell you about it.
I just am fascinated
That's
by the
crazy.
story, man. Like it just, I see stories like this and it just scares. It makes me want to be a hermit because like people are fucking crazy. Like
Yeah, they
they're
are.
nuts. Can you ever imagine? Like I don't care who she is. If you date a girl for 2 weeks, no matter how much you like her, and she dumps you, right? Can you even grasp?
So Dan, I can though. Here's the thing, because me and you brought up a couple crazy stories like this before, and me and you are very similar. But I'm starting to think I've been around a lot more straight up crazy people, and I probably have, because this story, it really doesn't shock me that much. Like I might have seen and been like stuff like this more close up. Absolutely, I've lived a life where I've been in bands and stayed at people's houses, and I've witnessed things and I've heard things, I've seen things with my own eyes that are equal to this, quite frankly. And you know, it doesn't really. It's a shocking story. But when you say like, I can't imagine, I'm like, yeah, I can imagine. It kind of sounds like my old San Francisco roommate. Not gonna lie, you know, it kind of like.
I mean, all right, any one of these incidents in isolation, maybe like, okay, she sent a pizza to you with the name Hitler.
The Hitler Lover
okay.
pizza story.
Okay,
yeah.
That's no whatever. But going on Tinder, striking up a relationship with 2 randos, giving them your address.
Yeah.
It's fucking insane. Now you're involving another person. Okay. And then
but revenge porn is a whole category. And these days with you know, doxing people and swatting people in this age of you know, social media and dating apps like this, dude, I bet it's super common. I know there's lots of things on these dating apps where like it's a crime ring and some dude can get catfished and hey, meet me over at this apartment, let's have some fun. Dude shows up and there's like 8 dudes ready to beat him up and just take his money and steal his car. Like, I think that's super fucking common.
So, I mean, I'm not defending that behavior, but at least there's an end result where you're stealing from someone and you're trying to.
This is just she's crazy and jealous.
She's fucking nuts.
Yeah,
that's my point. Like 2 weeks too. You dated her for 2 weeks. That's it.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you that's the part of the story. That's the biggest red flag out of this whole story. Is the 2 weeks. That's how long they've been together for. Like for some reason in my head, it makes sense if they're dating and it's 2 years, right? Like I can almost sort of like, okay, it's not that big of a 2 weeks though. I'm like, dude, what could go on in 2 weeks that make it all like that now?
I guess I'm just hyper rational because I'm looking at this and I'm saying to myself, no matter how mad I am at someone for dumping me, right?
Yeah.
What is the end game of this? Like, what, I think they're going to take me back? No.
Yeah, but clearly you are okay. You haven't dated Dan.
In trouble.
You haven't dated crazy women, Dan. I have. I've dated women crazy, you know, and they do things like this. And, you know, when you run a part of this crazy crowd, whether it's being in a band or whatever, drug users, whatever, this is going to be par for the course, and you're going to hear about something.
I have known crazy women that I have worked with or that I was friends with.
You just never got romantically involved.
No, I wouldn't. No, no, I don't. There's 2 things I will not do in life. There's two personality factors I just won't do: phony and crazy.
Right.
I can deal with an asshole. Asshole's fine. I can deal with it. Any of that's fine. Phony and crazy, I can't do it. I just can't.
I don't like mean. Mean is something like
I don't like mean, but I'd rather mean than phony.
I can't be around someone that's mean to me. I just don't.
You'd rather phony? You'd rather someone who's nice to you but fucking phony?
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway,
mean. This is an interesting story. This is an interesting story for real, you know. But yeah,
this caught my eye. I'm like, this. I mean, yeah, for me, this is peak crazy. I guess you've seen stuff like this. I have not, and like.
I mean, this is fucking crazy. I mean, you know, I know that like probably one of the very first experiences I have is that I was in San Francisco in 94. I think I'm like, I don't know, 24 years old or something like this. I'm just joined this band and I'm fairly new in San Francisco. I think it must have been 92. And I meet this girl because I'm a drummer in the band and she saw the concert. She's like, let's go out on a date. I take her out to a date. I don't know nothing about this girl. Her name's Crazy Jean. She was introduced to me as Crazy Jean. Okay.
Ooh, well,
so I meet Crazy,
right,
but dude, Crazy Jean, hot, brunette, fucking hot.
And
right?
you're 20 something. Yeah.
And I'm 20 something, young, dumb, and full of cum. So I meet Crazy Jean down at the bar. And I'm naive. I'm straight off the boat from New Jersey. You know what I mean? I'm out here living in San Francisco. And she goes, we sit down, we start, talking, having drinks at the bar. And I was just like, hey, so, what do you do for a living? Like, what do you do? She's like, oh, I'm a dancer. And I'm like, oh, what do you mean, like ballet? Like square dancing and ballet? She's like, no, Bruce, I'm a dancer. Nice. And I'm like, I don't even know what that fucking means. She's like, really? You really don't know? I was like, no, Bruce, like, I'm a stripper, whatever.
Nice.
And I was like, okay, by the way, Dan, not the first or the last stripper I ever dated. When you played drums,
that's bucket list for me. Like if I ever became single again, right? I'm not gonna lie. Like there's
a part of it that's very spicy.
I have other friends who have too, and I know the travails. Like there's it's the high highs and the low lows. Just like
exactly. And when you're 20, when you're 22 or something, you're riding that train. It's fucking great, right? So she goes. So we're sitting there. She goes, "I'm a dancer." I'm like, "Oh, what?" And she's like, "Yeah, I'm a dancer." I'm like, "Oh, so whatever." And I tried to act not to. By the way, it didn't really faze me that much. I'm like, whatever. I just felt stupid that I didn't know it was just called the dancer, right? So she's like, okay, whatever. And I'm like, so the date's going along. We start talking about shit, whatever. By the way, that's a very sort of stereotypical thing, like drummer in a band and dancer. Like it's fucking
sure.
Yeah. So, but she goes, she goes like, I gotta go. I gotta cut this date short. I gotta go. And I'm like, really? What she's going? She's like, yeah, I gotta go do double at the bubble at 9. And I'm like, excuse me? She goes, I gotta go do double in the bubble at 9. And I'm like, okay, now I feel dumb. Now I'm not gonna know what double in the bubble is if I certainly didn't know what dancer was. And I'm like, can you explain that to me? She's like, okay, there's a big stage. And then we come out, there's a big sort of like clear plastic bubble. And it's me and another stripper in there. And we get in there and we do all kinds of things and the bubble is rolling around. Then the bubble actually rolls out onto the crowd and the dudes are out there like this. And of course their private parts are mushed up against the plastic and they're scissoring in there and they're doing stuff like this. And the dudes get to be really close to it. It's like a big plastic
bubble.
There's
a barrier, right?
There's a barrier. But I mean, if you're a dude that's at the strip club and it's like right effing there.
I've never heard of that.
Double in the bubble, bro. And then the thing she goes, you want to come down? You want to come down and watch that? I'm like, no. Back then I was like, that's no good. So Crazy Jean was fun. She was fun for a while.
What Crazy Jean looks like now.
Oh, dude, you don't want to know.
Probably
worse than I do. I mean, here's the thing. It's like, like that's the thing. Like I should talk. Look, I'm a fucking nightmare. Like I said earlier.
Okay, yes, we're old, but again, compared to other people our own age,
right,
you and I are in really good shape.
So what if we line up a bunch of 50-year-olds for you and put you in there, and a random selection of a bunch of 55-year-olds for me and put me in there?
Dude, yeah. I mean, oh my God, you kidding? I mean,
I don't know, dude. I think pretty poorly of myself these days.
No,
I mean, I'm not in a good place, man.
you know what I'm going to do is dude, if I sent you pictures of some of these people I went to high school with who are your age or between us, and I mean, dude, no.
Trust me. Well, thanks, Dan. You're making me feel a little bit better about things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, these are. I mean, it's a mess. I mean, I don't have much self-esteem when it comes to looks, but I will say right now, objectively speaking, for a 50-year-old, I look pretty good.
You're very handsome, Dan.
And for a 55-year-old, you look very good. I'm telling you.
Thank you. Here's me and Dan, the Heeb and the Goy, telling each other how handsome we look.
Yeah.
It's
one day we will have our guests on, and they're young, and we're gonna have.
Oh, I don't want. Oh my God! So we're gonna have young, attractive guests on.
I want honesty. I want to know. I don't.
Like,
okay, guys like us walk into the room. Are we visible or are you disgusted? Are invisible or disgusted? Which is it? Invisible?
Right.
Disgusted?
You don't get a chance. You don't get a chance to say one or the other. I'm invisible or disgusted. Gosh, I guess you got to look for invisible or
one of the two.
Yeah, they're not. Well,
the other problem is if there's a third group who's 20 years old, but she's into guys who are 50, that's fucking weird.
Well,
So
20's,
that means
20's too young. 20 is way too young.
I agree. I agree. I'm saying if you're 20 and you would even entertain the idea of dating a guy our age, something's wrong with you.
Like, well, there's also something wrong with a guy. There's also something wrong with the idea that there'd be a dude our age who's into a 20-year-old. Now,
well, any guy, come on, Bruce, any guy, not so necessary to date or be in a relationship with, but any guy our age, like, is going to look at a 20-year-old and be like, ooh, 20. But like, I'm talking about one.
I don't know. I honestly, 22, 23, anything below 22 or 23, I'm feeling a little uneasy about it. Dead ass.
I think you're lying. You're trying to make yourself sound good. I get it. For the audience, you want to seem normal.
No, I don't know.
No, I don't disagree. I don't disagree in terms of like dating or anything like that. 100%, 100%. I'm just saying
the visual.
Forget the age. 20 to 28. Anywhere in there. 25. 20 to 25. Below 25. If you would even entertain dating a guy who's 50, other than George Clooney or somebody like that, right?
Yeah.
Then I just think something's wrong. I think something is not right.
There are issues.
Yeah.
There are a shocking amount, though. There are a shocking amount of women who are like 23, 25-year-olds who like dudes our age, like are really into it. And it's not just a money thing, sugar daddy thing. It's like, yeah. And I can't even pretend to have my head wrapped around what that is, because I can see myself in the mirror and how disgusting I am.
No,
I can't even imagine having a young woman looking at this. The
minimum age where I would say, okay, it's not too terrible. It'd be like maybe 35. 35, all right. It's still a 20-year age difference, but
oh yeah. Bro, if I'm 55 right now and I'm single right now, I am actively going out and dating 27 to 35-year-olds. No, like I will.
I would say a 27-year-old who wants to date a 55-year-old, something's wrong. I would still say
no, I don't think that's it. I think 27, by the time you're 27, really? You think a 27-year-old girl who wants to date a 55-year-old is fucked up? 27?
It's right on the line. It's right on the line.
We have, okay, Dan and
I on the line.
To the listening audience, Dan and I have these categories that are skewed a little bit.
But college age up to 25, to me, you're so young, and if you are even mildly interested in somebody who's 50 plus, there's something wrong. I don't mean Leonardo DiCaprio. I mean like a regular dude, like
regular ass dude. Well, that sounds like something. If we get so you live. Let me tell the audience. So Dan lives in this college area, and he has the ear of lots of sort of, attractive college age, maybe a little bit older women.
So these are children of my friends. Friends.
So that's weird right off the bat, right? So we got to remember,
these are kids I've known since they were young.
Well, so I know, but we're going to have them on the show and ask them some uncomfortable questions.
Yeah.
Are they aware that we're going to?
Not that uncomfortable. Okay. No, I'm not going to be creepy. I just want to know, like, okay, so tell me something. You walk into wherever and you see a guy who's 52 years old, like, and you notice him staring at you. Like, does it faze you at all? Do you care? Do you not care? Like, that's the kind of thing I'm interested in.
And you know what? It is interesting because me and you have a lot of times we can sort of put ourselves in another person's shoes and we can sort of generally understand what that's like, right? Like I can, but for all groups except young, attractive women.
No, I can't.
That is like an alien. Like I
need to know what life is like.
I have no idea. I have no frame of reference. How would we know?
None. That's the thing. Like, it sounds creepy. It's not creepy. It's just
okay. Just in the name of science and information and a sociology experiment. If you will.
I am just fascinated by the idea that you're young, you're attractive, you're going through life, and people are staring at you everywhere you go. What is that like? Like, I can't imagine. I mean, how many times in your life or my life has a woman looked at you, like, ogled you? I've probably never been ogled in my life.
Never once in my life.
Yeah, I know, right?
Never once in my life has a woman looked at me and just like with like lust and appreciation.
No, never.
You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, I gotta have him, whatever. It's like, no, even at my peak when I was a drummer, okay?
No.
That had more to do with me being a drummer than
right.
like this, like, right? So like, I don't get it.
The worst thing you can be in terms of this whole thing is a 23-year-old dude. No one is interested in you, right? The young women, they want to date older dudes who have money, right? Not old.
I don't think that's true. I think younger 23-year-old dudes are having a great time right now.
If they're really good looking, I guess.
You've seen these young hot. Okay.
Yeah,
You've seen these young hot chicks that are like dating these fucking young kids.
I'm just saying. I'm saying that as a man, your best kind of prospects are when you're kind of 40s, not old, but not young, where you're set, you have your career.
I agree with that.
Whereas as a woman, your best prospects are when you're 25. Because
when I'm in the gym and I see dudes that are like 40 years old, and I remember being 40 years old. 40 years old is pretty fucking peak. You know what I mean? Like you got your shit together.
You didn't know that at the time.
I didn't know it at the time. I wish I knew it at the time. Like it's not the peak is not 27. The peak is not 30. The peak is fucking 40 years old. Yes. If you're 40 years old, you've got your shit kind of together. You're not going to be young, dumb, and full of cum.
Your career is established.
Yeah,
you can just block.
You've been around the block. You've seen a few things.
You're not so old that things are falling apart on your body.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
And you're that age where you're 40, and younger girls that might like older dudes might like a 40-year-old. Like that's perfect for them. Yeah. And by the way, as far as society is concerned, it's not creepy or anything. It's not going to bat an eyebrow.
You're 40. You date a 27-year-old. No one cares.
Yeah, you're walking down the street and you're like a 40-year-old dude, and there's a 27-year-old on your arm.
Fine.
Doesn't raise a fucking eyebrow at all. But a dude like me, if I was single. And this right here you're looking at, and I was walking down the street with like a really hot 25-year-old, people would be like, what the fuck? And I would do the same thing. I'd be like, what's going on there? Yeah. What is the situation?
Yeah, that's like a Kardashian.
I don't know about you, but when I see this going out in the wild, oh my God, I'm so interested. And that's when I get fixated. I'm like, what's she doing with him? What's going on? Is it a sugar daddy situation? Is that the uncle? Like, what is going on over there? I can't stop looking.
I see it a lot. And I'm fascinated. I'm constantly fascinated by it.
What about this? We need to find one of these dudes and interview them as a couple, like get them on the fucking show. And she's like 23 and he's like 55, and it's gross. Like they look gross as a couple. Yeah. And we get them on, we agree to put them on the show. Be like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah. Tell me,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's going on?
You're into this? Really? Put her on a polygraph? Maybe.
I mean, like, no, but you're right. I mean, we talk about these age brackets and stuff like this, and in today's day and age, like for sure, you got to be very, very careful about what you say and what you do and what you lust after, for sure, because it is. I mean, look, it's not like it used to be. Leonardo DiCaprio is catching heat.
He is catching. He should. Because he's great. He's
great. Like, I mean, he's like what? He's 50,
he's about our age.
Yeah, and he only wants women who are 20 years old. Yeah. See, that's the difference. He can actively get that 20-year-old.
But it's not the point.
Like we might look at a 20-year-old woman and appreciate that she's in shape.
Yeah.
She's good looking.
No.
But that's where it stops. It's not like even if I had the chance, even if I was Leonardo DiCaprio, I'm not going to date her because that's fucking gross. And quite frankly, it's very pedo.
And the chance that you're going to have anything in common over the long haul is
zero. So what the fuck is he doing talking to these women other than like, oh, I really liked you in Titanic? Yeah, like that's where the conversation ends. And
Titanic, she wasn't even born. What are you talking about?
Oh my gosh,
she watched out 27 years ago.
Oh my God, dude, fucking nuts.
Yeah.
No, that's interesting. We'll have some guests.
Yeah, on a future episode, we're going to do this. I'm working on it already. I'm sure they would come on. It's my friend's kid. She knows me. We're good. But I'll have her and a buddy. She has a couple of buddies, and we'll
chicks.
Yeah. And
what are the ages? What are the ages of these?
Same as her, 21.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I'm going to be nervous talking to a group of 21-year-old girls. I won't be comfortable.
They're super nice. No,
I'm not going to be comfortable because of the social ramifications of it. Like, what is Bruce doing on this podcast talking to?
No, you are my cohort, and I have known this kid since she was a kid, and we're buddies. We're tight. Like I'm like an uncle figure.
Uncle Dan.
Like,
okay.
Yeah, I take her like she's here in town going to school. I take her out to lunch like once or twice a semester, and we text every here and there. No, it's her mom.
No, it's fine. No, look, I get it. It's fine and innocent.
One of my best friends. I mean, it's right. It's not. It really is not weird.
Oh, but what about this? Well, let me ask you honestly. What about this? So say Uncle Dan is taking the 21-year-old girl out to get a bagel, whatever, because that's what Uncle Dan does. He's a friend of the family. Everything's cool. I got no problem with that. You know each other.
Right.
What about the fact that you say it's just the two, you're going out to get a bagel, and then you see the glances coming from dudes like me that are looking at it? Don't you worry about like what other people are probably like looking at this? Like, what is the relationship?
They probably assume I'm her father
or uncle.
Yeah.
Is that what it's reading as? You think?
Like we're holding hands, Bruce. You know what I mean?
Right. Or kissing like the booth in the.
Oh no. I don't care. I like the kid. I've known her since she was a little kid. She's got a brother.
All right, I like it. I'm
tight with her brother. I'm tight with her brother too. There's no difference.
I like it. I can't wait. And that's a really good category to be in, because I can't wait to find out what it's like to be them, because I can't even imagine having someone look at me and want me. I can't even imagine. Let me ask you this, Dan. Have you ever once in your whole life been given flowers? Has anyone ever handed you some flowers? Because
I don't think so. No.
Right. Think about in a woman's lifetime how many times.
Oh my God.
They're given flowers for no reason other than
I've sent this girl flowers. She got dumped at one point, and I felt bad for her, so I sent her like anonymous flowers to make her feel better when she was in high school, like because I felt bad. But I mean, no one's ever sent me flowers.
So that's the difference, right? Like we live these lives of just like no one ever really will just like, unless you're super good looking, I guess, whatever, just regular dudes.
No, so you and I are not in that world.
Not in that. I don't know what that's like. I don't know what that's like to say. I'm walking down the street and have people stare like, oh my God, woo, look at this. And just like, I don't know what the, and
I've never been catcalled. No, for sure.
Never been catcalled. And of course, most girls, I assume, will tell you like, oh, it's gross. It happens to me all the time. Yes. And of course, the new thing about on social media is like, don't talk to strange women, leave us alone. There's a lot of anti-men stuff going on out there, which is by the way, deserved.
I leave him. I don't want to be anywhere near him. I don't want
to be anywhere near him. I don't want to fucking be. When I go to the gym, I was there last night working out, and there's a bunch of old cockers like me, but for some reason there was like a gaggle of college chicks in there. By the way, wearing the spandex pants and stuff and all this. Of course, yeah. And of course, it's like they were so hot and stuff and like this, but it's like I'm to the point now where I don't want to ever be caught looking at them.
No.
Because of the social implications, because of the weird way that it makes me feel, like for real. So like it's a strange time to
like a gym. Yeah. Now, like it's different if you're standing in line waiting for a drink or you're whatever, then it's a little different. But if you're at a gym, for sure, you got to be
You got to watch it. You got to watch it.
Yeah.
Scary.
All right, we're going to wrap up, man. That's this week on the
Heeb and Goy show. What did we talk about? We talked about what irritates you.
Is that what it's called? Double bubble?
Double in the bubble.
Double in the bubble.
I gotta go double in the bubble.
Double in
her
the bubble.
And another chick.
That's going to be the name of this episode. Double.
They scissor and they roll around in a ball.
That's what we're going to do when I see you in 3 weeks. We're going to double.
Can we, me and you, double in the bubble, or can we go out and see other chicks double?
We're going to double. Double in the bubble.
I don't. How funny if we did go out to a strip club. But by the way, I would never do it because I can't afford it. Like I used to go to strip clubs.
I've never been. Never been.
You've never been, not once?
It doesn't interest me.
Oh, they're great. They're great. When I had money, I did it. When I was in a band, we would go to strip clubs like we were opening up for Korn, and they'd be like, "Yeah, come to the strip club. It was for free." We would go in there. Oh, it was fan-fucking-tastic. You know, dude, you got to go to one before you die. It is awkward though.
Come on. Like a bunch of dudes.
It is, we're a bunch of
unless I'm dating a stripper. Like if my bucket list happens, I'm single one day and I'm dating a stripper, then I'll go. I'm going to see her at work. Yeah.
That's weird too, though, because I did that, and it's like you see these other dudes grabbing up on her, and you realize that's what she does for money.
Hey,
but it is, whatever. It's just weird.
It's a living, man. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Now it's OnlyFans. Now it's OnlyFans.
6 episodes in the tank, everybody, and then like and subscribe or not.
Like and subscribe or not. Heeb and Goy show. Get back with you in a week.
Till next time.
Later.